You can do this one. Okay, I can do it. Why don't you try? And if it sucks, I'll do it.
It's gonna suck because now all the pressure is on. All the attention is on me. Welcome back to episode. All the bad ideas.
All the bad ideas.
So we were just coming back from Columbus, Ohio. So we had a 6-hour bus drive, and I don't know, usually do all sorts of creative things, but for some reason I decided to watch a movie, which I never do. And guess, I'm not gonna make you guess because you're never gonna guess that. I just watched Breakfast at Tiffany's on.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it,
Yeah, I
but
didn't think so.
I need to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a classic that has been on my list for a long time that I've never seen. I've never watched anything with Audrey Hepburn in it. And honestly, it's been a real push because of Gilmore Girls, because they love these movies. So I finally was like, this was a perfect time to pull out this movie. And can I just say that anytime I've watched like a classic like that you know the title and you've heard about a lot, it has never been anything like I expected when I watched the movie. Nothing like I expected. Like another one that comes to mind is Pulp Fiction. And I love that movie now, but when I watched it, I just didn't even know what to expect, and it was not what I thought it would be.
Okay.
But it's like top 5. Like that is a fantastic movie. Yeah.
Wow. I haven't seen that one either. Okay, so then I want to hear 2 things. What did you expect from Breakfast at Tiffany's, and then what actually happened?
Okay, well,
Your
what do
take
you
on
think of when you think of that movie, Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Audrey Hepburn's in it, right? And
Yeah.
so this girl who's a brunette, who's really pretty, I'm guessing she goes to a place to eat, and everyone loves her because she's just like a fashion icon.
Yeah, no.
No.
Not even close, but that's exactly what I thought too. You think of that iconic black dress with like the pearl like necklace, her hair in
Little
that updo.
cigarette.
Yeah, cigarette. It's literally called Breakfast at Tiffany's. You'd think she goes to some upscale restaurant, has either works at Tiffany's, has a lot of gets gifts from Tiffany's, wears like
Yeah.
no. Tiffany's is like her like safe place. Like she's like, when I'm sad, I just like to go to Tiffany's. But she's broke as hell, throws all these parties, is always smoking, has this like neighbor upstairs that she like falls in love with, but is basically trying to like marry rich, and like keeps like meeting people. She's like, I'm gonna go date this guy because he's super rich. He's like one of the top 5 richest men in America. And she's like come from no like
Does
it's
she
just like
is the whole point like she's acting like she's rich to marry a guy that's rich, or that's not true? Because it seems like she's dressing nice.
she does dress nice, but she invites people over to her apartment, which has like nothing in it. So like they know like there's this one guy in it that honestly, the movie, there's a lot of things that I'm sure over my head I need to watch again to like really understand like the symbolism of things. But like, there's this guy in the movie that at this party that she has, who she calls him her agent or something. But anyway, he's talking to this new friend, the neighbor from upstairs, and he's like, do you think she's a phony or not? And he basically is like, she is a phony, but she's not, because she's a real phony. So it's like, that's kind of like this concept of who she is. She's like this, she's a real fake. Like she doesn't have it, but like she pulls it off like she does sometimes. I don't know. And she doesn't work, but then she goes to jail and like talks to this drug lord, but she doesn't know he's a drug lord. And gives her this weather report. And so like his attorney pays her 50 or $100 to go talk to this guy, and she thinks she's just talking to this old man in jail. And she's like, and I tell the attorney the weather report, and that's how he knows I went. But basically he's like giving like coded things about drugs. And so then at the end she like gets thrown in jail for a minute because she's been helping out this guy, but everyone can tell that she has no idea what's going on. Like she's like dumb blonde, but not like it's so I loved it, but I was like, this was just not what I expected.
That was a really good synopsis.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm gonna put that on my list. And then Pulp Fiction, that's another one of I didn't know that's one of your top 5 faves.
Yeah. It's been a while now since I've watched it, and so there's not a lot that I remember, but there is, and I honestly can't even talk about this one scene that I love because I don't remember it in enough detail, but I just remember laughing so hard because it's not funny what's happening, but it's like they do such a good job. It's oh my gosh, what's his name? Oh, I don't know. Samuel Jackson, and then there's a scene with Samuel Jackson and John Travolta, and see, now I can't remember. I think they're both cops. No, I don't know, but they're either saving someone or they're stealing something, and they're in a car and they like shoot somebody, but it's this really bloody, horrific thing, but the way they're talking is hilarious, and I'm like, and then Uma Thurman is in it, and she has this really weird dance that she does with John Travolta, and like I don't know, there's just so much happening in this
Sounds
movie, and
iconic.
it's like it's so iconic. I need to go watch it again now that we're talking about it. But like, I just the first time I just was like, there's so much going on, and I love this, and I'm scared, and I'm freaked out, and I like it is just like it is a Quentin Tarantino movie to a T. Like, if you want to know what that means, go watch Pulp Fiction. That is
Okay.
what it means to like to have a Quentin Tarantino movie to watch. Yeah,
Great producer. Absolutely. He did Django Unchained, right?
I don't
Quentin,
know.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay. Those are really good recs. I'm proud of
Yeah.
you for watching, and I need to do that more often. You have free time, you could watch something new, or you can go back and watch a classic that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah. I know, now I want to go watch all the Audrey Hepburn movies. Like, there's one in Rome. Win in Rome? Is that what it's called? Win in Rome?
Probably.
Something in Rome, Casablanca,
Mm.
Funny Face. I don't know. She's got a few.
I've never seen one of her movies ever.
I hadn't.
The first one. Yeah, when it comes to the movies that everyone knows and talks about, I am that person that has not seen many of them.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen any of the Rockies?
Yes.
Yeah, I've never seen any of those. And even like Forrest Gump, I went out of my way to watch it. I think I was 22 years old when I watched it for the first time, which isn't
Was it
bad.
worth it? Did you like it?
I remember a lot about it. I mean, I think it was okay. A movie that I never had seen until a few years ago, that's a really good one I like, is Good Will Hunting. That's a classic too.
Thank you. I can't believe you watched it without me. That's also a top five movie. I think that's one of the best movies.
It's
Yeah.
a really good movie. And that reminds me of, because Matt Damon is in it, like two other movies that I'm super passionate about. I'll finish with the best one. Rounders is about poker.
Did you not watch this with me?
No, it's okay.
I'm honestly offended.
Yeah. Do you like poker? Because I love poker
Yes.
passionately. Okay, wow. We need to get a
The
group
prop,
to
whatever
play.
I want.
So Rounders is a good one, but one of my favorite movies of all time is Molly's Game.
I haven't seen that one, but I know,
I
it's
can't.
been
I'm
on the
so
list. I don't know why I haven't seen it.
it's more I'm more it was not the fact you haven't seen it, it's jealousy that you just saw. I wish that I have not seen it. So then therefore I could watch it again for the first
Yeah,
time. It's like one of those, books, movies that you just love so much. I love Molly's Game. I don't know how people miss this, but when I talk about Molly's Game, people are surprised to know it's a true story.
I did
And
know that.
yes, and I'll give you like the basics because I'm not giving anything away, but like there was this woman who was young and a professional skier, but like I'm pretty sure it was like a ski jumper, and she had a really tough dad, and she came to a crash and had a bunch of injuries, and so like her life took a turn away from skiing, and so it was like working for this guy, and then he talked about a poker game he was running, but it was like an underground poker game, and he was basically a douchebag. And so she started her own, and then just like what ensues when she's like running these poker games. And it's someone that you would never expect because she's just like this beautiful, smart girl, just with these big wigs in New York City. And so you'll find that out very quickly. And so I'm not giving away anything, but it's so entertaining because it's a true story.
Have you ever seen the show Queen's Gambit?
Yes.
It just gives me similar vibes.
Yeah. That is true. I think that Molly's Game is more fast paced, and maybe because it
Mhm.
is a movie compared to a show, and so I think a lot more happens in like a shorter period of time. I thought the whole time watching Gambit that it was going to be based on a true story, and it's not. So I
Uh,
was really bummed about that. True stories to me hold a lot more weight for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
Because I want things to be true most of the time. It just makes it more entertaining. Yeah, that's a good analysis, like comparison. But yeah, Molly's Game is a good one if you haven't seen it. Now you have a
I
homework
know.
assignment.
I know. Gotta go watch it. I know that's been on the list for like I remember seeing the trailer and being excited for it and then like never seeing it for some reason.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
so it's like I've known about it for a long time. It's
You don't
just
have to know poker to watch that movie. I know that you know it, so anyone who doesn't know poker, you totally understand it. Of course, it always makes it a little bit better to understand. There's even terms that are used that I don't know about in that movie. And the only other thing to mention, I feel like it would better to know this going into the movie. Again, this isn't giving away anything, but there's this guy that's referred to as Player X, and in real life, who it is Toby Maguire, which
I hate
I
that.
actually ran into Toby Maguire when I was in eighth grade.
I'm really sorry for you.
The Starbucks. He was nice. He was nice. I didn't have my contacts in, and so I was like, he was at a Starbucks in Big Bear, and so I was like staring at him
Have
like
you seen the
this.
Spider-Man movies?
Yes, and I grew up on
Yeah,
Tobey
he's
Maguire.
my least favorite Spider-Man, even though I did too. He is my least favorite.
I never saw any Spider-Mans after that, and
I
so he
know.
has to be my favorite. Are you a
That's
Spider-Man fan? Like
yes.
you like have
Spider-Man is my favorite.
all of them? How many Spider-Man movies are there? Do you know?
Well, Tobey Maguire, he has three, right?
Wow, I have no
He
idea.
has three. Andrew Garfield had two. Tom Holland has three, and a fourth one coming out.
We don't need nine
We do. Yes, we do.
Spider-Men. It's called Spider-Man, not Spider-Men.
Okay, the best part of being a Spider-Man fan was the fact that they all showed up in the Avengers movie. And it wasn't, hold on. No, it was like the most recent Spider-Man movie. They all are in that movie. And that was like the biggest plot twist in history. Like people didn't know, but when the movie came that they got all three actors to play it. Because like they pulled from like the metaverse and like got them to come. And it was like they opened like different portals, different universes. And it was like you got all three Spider-Mans, men, in this one movie. It was crazy.
Are you, don't hate me for this. Is Spider-Man Marvel or I can't
Yes.
even think of the other one. DC, right?
DC.
If
I
I,
had to write a paper. That was my final exam in my art class in eighth grade. Was like comparing, and contrasting Marvel and DC. Sorry, finish your question.
well, no, that's a really cool thing, and I think most people don't know. You have to
Yeah.
be a fan to know. So, if someone were to ask me if Berkeley knows the difference in the movies, I would say yes because she knows a lot of random facts, but I would guess just like we've never talked about it, so I would say no. So I'm surprised.
Hilarious. I love Spider-Man.
I am really surprised.
Like I didn't think that I could ever watch it again after Andrew Garfield's didn't get continued. Like Tom Holland is the only person that probably could have taken over Spider-Man and like had me still like the movies. Because I loved Andrew Garfield. Loved him as Spider-Man.
Just because he's a better actor?
I just loved his movies. I don't know. Like I just thought they were way better than Tobey Maguire's in like the story and like and yeah, just like the whole story that was being told. Like, and I get that it's like the same idea of a story, but the way they told it, the actors that were in it, I don't know. I just love Andrew Garfield. He just seemed way more to fit the profile of Spider-Man. Except for the truth is, Tom Holland really is the perfect one so far because Spider-Man is supposed to be a young nerdy kid in high school. Whereas like Toby is too old, Andrew's a little bit too old, but he still fits the geeky profile. Tom Holland like is the perfect like high schooler. Like he was the nerdy high schooler.
Was he aged when he filmed the movies?
I don't know. Tom Holland was 18 when he first started filming.
Oh, okay, so yeah,
So just a
basically.
little bit older, but he looks
Cool.
young enough to
Yeah,
be. Yeah.
that's awesome. I'm still impressed with people who can play different ages, whether it's younger or older, you know. And you're right, now that you say it, I didn't realize that about Tobey Maguire. He was definitely too old to be a high school student.
He
Yeah,
wasn't cool enough to be Spider-Man.
that's true.
Anyway, we should move on.
Before I get way worked up, as promised, we need to talk about AI. I
Lay it on
wanted
me.
to talk about this because I was informed, and again, you know this, my favorite way to find information is through conversations. And I just try to live in the real world as much as I possibly can instead of on a screen. Someone told me about the amount of water that it takes for ChatGPT to use. Yeah, I know this is shocking because you would never think of water and like, how is that even possible? It's to cool down the generators that are being used. Berkeley.
Oh,
39 million gallons of water are used every day. I stopped using ChatGPT. I was appalled. And the only thing after doing like more research, again, another conversation, I have not looked this up yet, but like it's like a cooling system that's used and so it's recycled water, but I also don't know how necessarily true that is. And then the person I was talking to was talking about how like they're, you know, you need cheap land to put these generators and obviously AI is growing like crazy. And so then they put them in real like really remote areas that are not around water sources and then you can't use salt water and so you got to use fresh water. And now you're taking like the fresh water away from the areas. Disaster to me.
I'm gonna need you to actually look this up and like verify information.
I looked up how many millions of gallons were
Oh,
used every day, and that's a fact.
that's
That is a
gross.
fact. I know. It's actually really disturbing. And so AI is just and living in San Francisco, of course, it's just talked about all the time and it's very prevalent here. People are cool, in my opinion, here because you run into a lot of way above average people. Like the average person works in tech or finance, some or works at Apple, some really cool job that's just not normal America.
Mhm.
And so it's fun to learn from these people because they're all extremely smart. At the same time, I don't think people realize, how AI is transforming our lives. And of course, there's a lot of really good things from it, but extreme things result in extreme results. Like there's an awesome end of the spectrum that's happening from AI, and we're making things more streamlined, but eventually, like, I don't know how many jobs are going to exist and replacing people's jobs, or like critical thinking and conversations. And to me, being connected and having conversation is some of the finer things in life. And I know that you agree with me
Mhm.
in this with
Yeah.
relationships. And the more that we rely on AI to think for us, the less that exists. And on a similar note, this man did a bunch of research on development of brains, and apparently every generation has outperformed the generation in the past. But for the very first time, Gen Z is underperforming, and they tracked it back to and nailed it down to screens being introduced. And before, millennials like didn't really have screens in the classroom, but since screens have entered, how much brain function, cognition, testing, critical thinking, all of these things have decreased by at least a third.
Yeah. Like, and I was watching a video and he reposted it and he made a comment about how when you bring out screens, everyone just starts to skim. And so nobody is like critically thinking in the sense of like reading a textbook or reading what they're supposed to be doing. And like that's affecting things. And, he also talked about how, and it's all based on like a standardized test that everyone takes. And like you're looking, because they have information going back to like 1960 based on these standardized tests. And he's like, go pick any country. And when screens were introduced, those standardized tests plateau and then they go down like in performance. It's
Yeah,
wild.
I just think we're living in a time, and everyone can agree with this, it's just very different than ever before. And they say that technology doubles every year.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so if this is what we've experienced in the last 2 or 3 years, which recently it feels like that, what's going to happen? And eventually it can only, I think, transform so much. Like the LeBron James rule. I don't know if you've heard of this, but
Mhm.
I would use it a lot for athletes. And I'm hoping it's like this for
Oh yeah.
AI. But when LeBron James was 12, his margins of improvement were a lot more significant because he's 12 years old to 13 to 14. Like in a couple of years, he has so much to learn. LeBron James, when he's 39 to 40, there's not going to be very many margin. The margin improvement's a lot smaller for him to
It's like the
create.
iPhone. The iPhone got better
You're
quickly
so
over the lot,
right.
and then like the last like 7 iPhones have been the exact same.
Exactly. And that exact reason, not just LeBron James, thinking about iPhone is the thing that gives me hope. But I brought this up yesterday, like the other day with a group of friends, and I saw on this same I started following this AI account on Instagram, and they were posting how they created these robo dogs that have machine guns on them that lead, yeah, that lead people into they're the lead in wars. And so they'll turn corners like while they're shooting, and so then therefore you're not like sacrificing a person, like it's just a robo dog with a machine gun. It's like anyone could make one of those. Anyone
Yeah.
can get that into their hands, and then now there's not a consequence. Like if there's a shooter, at least like they'll die, right? Like typically, like what are you gonna do? Shoot the robo dog? Like it's what, and then it's just like anyone, it just could be mass produced. And like at least with people it's limited, you know what I mean? Like with AI it's
I think these
absolutely,
conversations get avoided because it's like this scares me so
it's
much. It's
so
like how do you
terrifying, and
talk
that's
about it?
why I
Because
want
it's
to
like
talk about it, because it's
yeah.
like no one is talking about it. And when we were talking, the whole water thing sparked this conversation of just how much, like, why does no one know this? Like today, even this is the first time you're hearing about how much water it takes for it to function. Why are so many other things common knowledge, but like this isn't? Like the downsides to AI. And I was like, maybe God put me in San Francisco, in the tech capital of the world, to like stop AI, to be like, bring people with me and be like, because they're doing it because they're getting money from it because people are using it. And so maybe I just need to start spreading the word about AI. And again, there are some really amazing things from it, but
Well,
apparently, go
I
ahead.
saw this thing that someone had posted. Again, I really wish I could remember these things better and know that when I'm going to use them. But essentially, it was saying that like maybe at this time things are happening the way they are because we're getting, and I'm not going to use the right words, but essentially like overstimulated in all the right ways that we're starting to go back to traditional ways. And so it's like it's just this overload of technology and things that like slowly we're just like we don't want this anymore. And that's why we're like having started sewing, these the amount of people who are like doing like making their own
Yeah.
clothes, or like now making like sourdough and like cooking things and like having their own gardens. Like I just think that those things are growing of like these traditional ways of life that we used to do, that we wanted it to be faster, and we there is a lot of people moving back to that slower way of life. And it's like maybe we're slowly heading back that way because there's been so much influx of like AI and ChatGPT, you know, and just like technology that's taking over that we realize that we don't.
It's it's so true. The other post that happened that I thought was really interesting, and they just posted it today, that nearly half of the AI data centers expected to launch in the US in 26 are now being delayed or canceled. And they said around 12 gigawatts of new US data center capacity was supposed to come online in 2026, but only about a third of that is currently under active construction. And basically, it has to do with trade tensions with China or limited access to key electrical equipment, ongoing hardware supply issues. And so there is going to be definitely like a limit, but it's just I just can't. And it's there's so much that I can't fathom. And of course, I actually have not had very many conversations about this. Just in the OR, it was, a 30-minute conversation about AI. So I want to start talking to other people to be like, okay, what do you think about it? And so just gotten just a very limited amount of information slash opinion on people. But I like what you said about people going, I can see that going back to traditional ways of living because
Mhm.
it is exciting when you only had traditional back in the early 1900s, and then you're still progressing through the 1900s, and it's like not changing, and all of a sudden the cell phone hits, I'm guessing in like the late
The
90s.
industrial revolution, you know, I mean, that
Yeah,
changed
exactly.
the speed of
Like
life.
that's so fun, and it's all new, and it's to me it has been fun and new. Like self-driving cars, I was like scared, but then I thought about it, I'm like, wait, self-driving cars are actually sick because humans make errors. And how many hours is the average person driving in their life? A self-driving car gets data inputted to it from all the other self-driving car information.
Have you
What?
seen the movie Wall-E?
I actually have not. I've heard of it
My
though.
mom and I talk about this all the time.
But
Wall-E is a cartoon, and it's about this. He's a I don't know what to call him, but
you're a
he's a
robot.
robot. He's a robot, but like he squares trash, like makes condenses trash, and so like he is like the last thing left on Earth. Everyone else is up in this spaceship. They're all 4,000 pounds. We all sit in chairs with a screen in front of us, and that's like and so they're waiting. Wally has found this like plant, and that like they're waiting to find signs of life to like come back to Earth or something. Like my mom and I joke all the time. We're like, that's where our lives are heading. Us sitting in a chair with a screen in front of us, and none of these people interact. They interact with each other through the screen like FaceTime. Even though they're sitting next to each other, they're not looking at each other. They're talking through the screen, and it's like, no, I don't want so like. The more that technology is involved, the closer we are to getting to Wally's stage of life, where we don't do anything and we don't go out and touch grass and like live outside in nature. We're gonna be up in a spaceship because we've destroyed this Earth.
Mhm. It's true.
I think God will interfere before we get to that point, but
And speaking of getting out in nature and touching grass, I don't know if you knew this, but when you're outside, you're lowering your body's primary stress hormone, which is cortisol, and also reducing blood pressure and heart rate, and you're boosting your immune system activity, which is therefore improving mental clarity. And I don't know about you, but that's a true statement for me. Like when I'm on my phone too much, like I actually start to get a slight headache and I feel mentally slower. Like I come
Mhm.
out of this. I always call it a chrysalis because a cocoon is for moths. So I'm not a moth, I'm a butterfly. So I come out of this chrysalis and I'm just like, you know how there's these explosions in movies and their ears are ringing and they're discombobulated? Like that's how I feel sometimes after I was on my phone for like 20 to 30 minutes straight and you're just like trying to react to the normal world. And yeah, it's just, it makes so much sense. Like being why I feel so much better after a run and being present. And like even today, like I'm so excited to be able to go outside after I finish talking to you, but in the best way. I love catching up with you. But like I get to look forward to that, and I'll come back and make dinner, and I just know that I'm gonna feel so much better after being outside. Even and I just think that we get comfortable. Like, and that goes back to my conversation about being consistent. Like it'd be so easy for me right now to like make dinner, sit on my couch for the next couple of hours, watch a couple of TV shows, like go to bed, read a little bit, and then like pass out and do it all again tomorrow. But it's like number one, how to like make a change is just do it for 2 minutes. Like even if you don't want to do it, like I'll tell myself, okay, if you want to like turn around in 2 minutes, shout out James Clear, he's the greatest with this stuff, like then fine, come back. But in reality, like you're probably gonna like do it longer. But more importantly, when you finish, like has there ever been a time that you went on a hike or went to the gym or something like that and you were like, wow, I'm so mad that I went to the gym or that I did that? The answer is no. It's usually the opposite more often than not, right? Unless you hurt yourself, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the majority. And so, like, you don't want to do it in the moment, but just do it for 2 minutes. And yeah, it'll, because even if it's not what you want right now, being out in nature will help you. So maybe this will inspire some people to become more aware, save our water. I don't know if it's inevitable or not, but at least made a change for me and continue to just have conversations with people. And even if you're wrong and you don't get facts from the internet, it's like, okay, well, life goes on. I just don't act like I know everything. I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
like, this is fact.
Go outside. That's all we're saying.
Touch grass.
That's great.